Hi, this is William B. Weeks Jr., and I'm here to talk about Twitter rules and managing your Twitter account. Twitter account rules, as we've discussed in our previous videos on Twitter, account management can be a problem even for experienced users. In this video, I'm going to attempt to explain some of those limitations in more detail. The dreaded error message. This is the message you're going to get when you're unable to follow more people. And basically, if you click on here, it's going to come back with a ton of rules and regulations. So I'll try to break those down and talk to you about the more specific ones that really affect you. Here's the list that they give you. They call it help, resources, and troubleshooting. And basically it runs a number of pages and discusses all the limitations and things that occur and why you can be whitelisted and so forth. And if you have the time, it's probably a good idea to read through it at some point. But just to break it down and simplify it a little bit, I've created a few slides that outline the major issues. Here's the basic rules. These are technical limits that are placed on your account. You're limited to 250 direct messages per day. API requests, or application interface requests, are limited to 150 per hour. And what that really means is that if you're using third-party tools, then they can only make so many requests per hour. Updates, 1,000 per day. The daily update limit is further broken down into semi-hourly intervals, and retweets are counted as updates. Daily following limitations are basically 1,000 per day, and they have some really prohibitive rules on aggressive following behavior, and those are detailed in that technical document that they provide. Following, account-based. So once you reach the 2,000 barrier, there's additional attempts to limit, or limited by the account, and there's specific ratios, and we've discussed those in one of the other slide presentations that I presented. Just some additional notes. There's limits on devices and applications. So these limits include all types of devices from your web, mobile phone, application interfaces, or third-party applications, and these are all tracked against an hourly API limit. People who use multiple third-party applications can reach these limits much more quickly. And some additional notes, if you do reach a limit, Twitter will let you know. That was the error message that I showed you in the previous slides. And these limits are basically time-based. So there's limits on direct messages, updating, and API requests. And basically you're going to have to wait approximately an hour, and then you can come back in and start over again. The update limit of 1,000 updates per day is then further broken down, so you can actually hit these limits within hourly intervals. And you're just going to have to wait and try again in an hour or two and see if the limit period has elapsed. In most cases it will. So just be very careful here, and don't try to get too aggressive on hitting a large number of followers, in a day. So some of the automated functions, the only auto following behavior Twitter allows is auto follow back. In other words, following a user after they've followed you. And I've talked about this in previous presentations. One of the tools I use is Tweepy, and it has that capability as well as unfollowing. Um, there's a note here on unfollowing. So again, if you try to unfollow and then go back in and follow people, you may hit those technical limits that we just discussed, and they can whitelist you if you do this too frequently. So again, as I said, you need to do it periodically, but you shouldn't be doing it 2 or 3 times a day by any means. So take care when you do that. Automated thanks for following messages are annoying to some users, and actually what you'll see sometimes is that you'll get the error message they're not following you, only to learn out later that they were following you. So just be careful on how you do that. I know if you have large accounts, automation is a terrific idea. May not be as Twitter friendly, but certainly they don't try to regulate that behavior. Then there's the last thing. This is the Twitter O authorization approval. Typically this is based on the applications. They have to go through a third-party approval process. And then when that happens, you allow the application to access by approving their connection, but you don't want to give out your username or password. And once approved, you'll see a revoke the connection from your connections tab. If you look down here, you're going to see that there's a little OAuth source example. If not, what it does is it says that you have an API source. Some noted third-party applications, I'm sure you're familiar with most of these. We've discussed Tweepy, for example. SocialInf is another very popular one to manage social media accounts. And then there's other ones here, and you can check those out as you desire. In summary, no one likes rules, but I've tried to describe the important ones to you and how to resolve them. Hopefully it'll make your Twitter experience a little bit easier to deal with and not so frustrating. So hope you enjoy it and have fun.